Thank you for returning to the channel. And I know if you returned, then you're interested in how we're going to save our country. And hopefully you brought 2 or 3 of your friends along with you to view this video. Before I get into our business today, I want to say something important. I want to thank you. I read the comments. I read as many as I can. And if you haven't received a response from me yet, please don't take that as indifference. I read them because they help me understand you. And I know many of you are writing from the heart. So I intend to read all of them, the good and the bad. Now, some of the comments disturb me, not because they criticize me. I can handle that. But because they reveal something deeper happening in our country. That's what this video is about. As I was reading, I noticed a group of comments that made my soul tremble. They came from people identified as foundational Black Americans, FBAs. I want to be honest with you. I wasn't familiar with the term, so I researched it. And what I found disturbed me. Not because of pride, not because of history, but because of the amount of anger being aimed outward, especially towards immigrants. There's a real pain there, real frustration, real resentment. But pain, when misdirected, becomes dangerous. So I want to offer a different perspective today, not a dismissive one, not a lecture, not a scolding, a lived one. I grew up Black in America in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Those were oppressive times. I couldn't go where white people went. I had to use colored bathrooms with colored signs for color only. And when I went shopping with my parents, as they was paying a utility bill, which was normally at the local courthouse, I couldn't just use any available bathroom if I had to go use the bathroom. I couldn't just use any available bathroom. I remember times my father had to take me past 2 or 3 bathrooms with signs said for whites only, down a few flights of stairs to the basement to use the colored bathroom with the for colored sign on it. Black people couldn't drink from the same water fountains. We couldn't work at certain jobs and places. Couldn't even get a job at McDonald's. If you wanted food from there or in a restaurant, you had to go to the back door. You'd knock on it. You'd wait and wait and wait until the white customers inside were served. Then they come take your order. And you might get it back within 20, 30 minutes. We couldn't try on clothes or shoes in the stores. If they didn't fit when you got home, too bad, you couldn't return them. To buy shoes, they'd measure your feet. You pay for them when you leave, taking them home, hoping they'd fit. Same with the clothes that you bought from the stores. This was normal life. And when I was 13 years old, the Ku Klux Klan chased me home after purchasing a bottle of Excedrin from a store I wasn't allowed to go into because it was mostly patronized by whites and blacks wasn't allowed. But my mom had a headache and sent me to get her some medicine. That wasn't history. That was my childhood. Life was tough. And that's why I joined the Black Panthers. But hear this carefully. We weren't fighting white people. We were fighting oppression. The oppressors just happened to be white people. And it was not all white people. There have been white people who have supported us through all our struggles. The abolitionist movement, the March on Washington, the Selma March. The Black Panthers had white supporters too. Go back and look at some newsreels from back in the day, and you will see white people assisting in those events. Oppression is a system. Oppression uses people. Oppression convinces ordinary citizens to protect it. That distinction matters, because the moment you forget it, you become what you're fighting. I need to say this clearly. Things escalated in those days. There was chaos. People were hurt. Lives were destroyed. Communities paid the price. And here is the part people rarely talk about. Violence did not liberate us. It made the cost unbearable. The overwhelming harm did not fall on the institutions. It fell on us, the people. That's why I am not romanticizing that era. I am warning against repeating it. Because what might have felt unavoidable then would destroy us now. I want you to understand something crucial. The conditions that existed when I was young do not exist today. Back then, power was hidden. Information was slow. Abuse could be denied. If something happened in one city, the rest of the country may never even hear about it. Today, that is no longer true. Every action is recorded. Every response is documented. Every mistake is replayed. That changes the equation completely. In the past, escalation forced attention. Today, escalation forfeits legitimacy. Violence no longer exposes injustice. It obscures it. And once legitimacy is lost, the people lose leverage. That is why I am telling you plainly, what worked under oppression then would empower oppression now. Let me explain this carefully. Governments do not fear chaos. They prepare for it. They train for it. They budget for it. They justify expansion through it. Chaos gives cover. Chaos allows emergency powers. Chaos allows suspension of norms. And chaos allows the silencing of dissent. Order without justice is dangerous. But chaos without strategy is a gift to authority. That is why the loudest calls for violence only come from people who would never pay the price for it. The people who pay are families, communities, young men and women with no exit. I've already seen that movie. I'm not interested in watching it again. Power today does not live only in buildings. It lives in relationships, in families, in phone contacts, in group messages, text messages, emails. A soldier does not belong to Washington. A police officer does not belong to an agency. They belong to communities. They have mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers. They attend churches. barbecues, family gatherings, and conscience is activated far more effectively at a dinner table than on a street corner. That is not weakness, that is reality. Movements that endure do not attack the uniform. They reach the human being inside it. This is slower, but it is stronger. I know patience is not popular, especially when people are afraid. But impatience is exactly what power depends on. Impatience creates mistakes. Mistakes justify crackdowns. Patience does the opposite. Patience forces accountability. Patience keeps moral authority where it belongs, with the people. This is not passive. This is active restraint. And restraint is power when exercised collectively. That's why I stand where I stand today. Today, I'm a medically trained physician. I'm also a trained attorney. I'm also a trained engineer. And I also maintain a degree in business. And I'm also a licensed pilot who can fly his own plane. None of that would have been possible without me and people like me who chose justice over revenge. Immigrants, legal and illegal, come here for the same reasons my ancestors did. They wanted freedom, a better life. I've done medical missions in countries many immigrants come from. Believe me when I say this, you live better here than they lived there. Many of them were oppressed too, by colonizers, by systems, by poverty. So when we turn on each other, we are aiming at the wrong target. Oppression loves division. Let me be unmistakably clear. Violence is not the answer today. Chaos is not leverage. What works now is calm, focus, direct objectives, patience. Movements win now by awakening conscience, especially inside institutions. Military members and law enforcement officers are not our enemies. They are our families, our neighbors, our communities. And conscience does not awaken through fear. It awakens through human contact. So if you're new here, please go back and watch video 1, Can America Be Saved? Then watch video 2, What We Can Do Starting Now. This video closes one door, violence, so we can walk through the door that actually works. Calm, action, human contact, prevented escalation, stealth. If this message resonates, subscribe to the channel. Share it with one or more people. We can still save this country, but only if we choose to. Now I'm speaking to you as a neurosurgeon would. When you're angry, you can't think. The brain isn't wired to do both of those at the same time. So think. We are thinkers. We do by thinking. We are stealth, we are silent. We move communities. We move our country into the right direction. Thank you for coming here and subscribing if you did. I'll see you at the next video and we can get on with the business of saving our country. All power to the people. Thank you for coming.